Have you ever wondered what makes a hockey player unforgettable without being a top scorer or a superstar? Imagine a player who could make fans cheer, cringe, or even hate him, all in the same game. That's the story of Matthew Barnaby. He played 14 seasons in the NHL, collected over 2,500 penalty minutes, and became one of hockey's most controversial figures. Why did teams keep giving him chances? What made him both feared and respected? On Pucknuts, we'll dive into his career, his fights, and his legacy. Don't forget to like and subscribe to join the conversation. Chapter 1. From Ottawa to the NHL Dream. Matthew Barnaby was born in Ottawa, Canada, and loved hockey from a very young age. He wasn't the biggest player on the ice, but he had heart, grit, and determination that set him apart. In the early 1990s, he played junior hockey in the QMJHL, where his feisty style and willingness to fight quickly made him stand out. Scouts noticed his toughness and skill, seeing a player who could make an impact. By 1992, Barnaby was drafted by the Buffalo Sabres, stepping into the NHL and beginning a career that would be remembered for both his skill and his fiery personality. Chapter 2. Becoming hockey's ultimate agitator. When Matthew Barnaby joined the Buffalo Sabres, he didn't just try to fit in, he played every shift with full intensity. He wasn't the biggest, fastest, or most skilled scorer on the team, but he had a clear role: make life uncomfortable for the other team. And he did it with fights. A lot of them. Over 14 NHL seasons, Barnaby played 834 games and racked up 2,562 penalty minutes, ranking him among the most penalized players of his time. His style divided fans. Some loved him for his fire and courage, while others hated him as a goon. But every coach knew one thing: Barnaby was fearless, unpredictable, and brought energy no one could ignore. Chapter 3. Making toughness an art form. In hockey, enforcers have a special role. They protect their teammates and aren't afraid to fight when needed. Matthew Barnaby wasn't the biggest enforcer in the league, but he brought a different kind of intensity. He combined speed, skill, and toughness in a way few others could. He could play physical hockey, stand up for his teammates, and still frustrate opponents without hurting his team's game. Barnaby wasn't just about fighting. He could score, create chances, and make an impact beyond the penalty box. And coaches and players noticed this balance of skill and fire. It's what made him both feared on the ice and respected in the locker room. A player who could change the game in many ways. Chapter 4. Journeyman of the League. Barnaby didn't stay with just one team. After the Sabres, he played for the Pittsburgh Penguins, Tampa Bay Lightning, Colorado Avalanche, New York Rangers, Chicago Blackhawks, and Dallas Stars. No matter where he went, he brought the same energy. Tough play, scrappy fights, and unforgettable moments. Fans might have hated him, but they never forgot him. Chapter 5. Reputation. Hero or headache. Hockey fans had mixed feelings about Barnaby. Some admired him for standing up for teammates, fighting when needed, and playing with heart. Others thought he went too far. Teams valued his passion, while rivals saw him as reckless. He wasn't just a player on the ice. He was a lightning rod who sparked strong reactions everywhere he played. Chapter 6. Penalty minutes. More than just numbers. Penalty minutes don't tell the full story, but for Barnaby, they showed one thing clearly. He was willing to do what others wouldn't. Every fight, every penalty reflected his fiery style and commitment. His 2,562 penalty minutes weren't accidents. They came from choices he made on the ice, playing with intensity and never backing down. Chapter 7. The concussion that changed everything. In 2007, Matthew Barnaby's career came to an end. Not because he wanted to stop, but because his body forced him to. A concussion he suffered during a fight left him unable to continue playing. For a player known for toughness, and it was a harsh reminder of the price of that style of hockey. This wasn't just a minor injury. It ended his career. After years of hits, fights, and battles on the ice, Barnaby had to step away from the game he loved so deeply. Chapter 8. From ice to analyst. After retiring, Barnaby stayed close to hockey by moving into broadcasting. In 2008, he became an NHL analyst for ESPN and TSN, sharing his thoughts and bold personality on national TV. Fans expected his commentary to be as honest and fiery as his playing style, and for a while, it was exactly that. Chapter 9. Off-ice troubles. Begin. Life after hockey wasn't easy for Barnaby. In 2011, he was involved in a domestic incident that led to charges including criminal mischief and harassment. As part of a plea deal, he had to complete 500 hours of community service and attend anger management counseling. This showed that the challenges weren't just on the ice, Off the rink, Barnaby was struggling too, dealing with personal issues and the difficulties of life after a high-intensity hockey career. Chapter 10: A DWI Arrest and Job Loss. Later in 2011, Barnaby was arrested for drunk driving after being found in a car with a damaged front end and a missing tire. He failed sobriety tests and refused a breath test, which led to his license being revoked and his firing from ESPN. For a former NHL enforcer who once fought for his team, it was a harsh reminder that off-ice choices could have serious consequences. Chapter 11: Legal Battles and Protection Orders. Barnaby's legal problems continued, or he was served with protective orders after a dispute involving his ex-wife, stopping him from any contact or communication with her boyfriend. This time in his life was filled with public court cases, legal battles, and consequences that followed him far beyond the hockey rink, showing how off-ice struggles can deeply affect a former player's life. Chapter 12: Bar Fight Arrest. In 2020, Barnaby was arrested in Nashville after being drunk in public and allegedly choking a bouncer during a bar fight. The incident made headlines, showing that his struggles off the ice were far from over. For many, it was a reminder that the challenges Barnaby faced after hockey were ongoing, complicated, and serious. Chapter 13: The Complex Legacy. So what is Matthew Barnaby's legacy? On the ice, he was one of the most intense and unforgettable players of his time, a competitor who gave everything every night and brought energy to his team. Off the ice, his struggles showed how difficult life can be after hockey. Loved by some and hated by others, Barnaby left a mark that can't be ignored. He wasn't just a player, he became part of hockey's identity as a tough, gritty sport. Chapter 14: Life After the Spotlight. In recent years, Barnaby has focused on podcasts, sharing stories from his hockey career, and staying connected to the sport in other ways. He also watches his son play hockey at a professional level, a quieter chapter in a life that was once constantly in the spotlight. His journey shows that healing and growth take time, and that even the toughest hockey players can struggle with life's pressures, challenges, and personal battles. Chapter 15: NHL kept him around. Why did the NHL keep a player like Matthew Barnaby around for so long? Hockey isn't just about goals and assists. It's about passion, fire, and identity. Barnaby showed a side of the game that fans remember. A player who never feared a fight, gave everything on the ice, and made opponents uncomfortable. Even as the league moved away from pure enforcers, players like him shaped hockey's culture and left lasting memories for a whole generation of fans. Matthew Barnaby's story shows that being tough on the ice doesn't always make life outside it easy. Do you ever wonder what it's like when a player's fame comes with constant pressure and conflict? His journey reminds us of the highs and lows athletes face, the cost of intensity, and what happens when your identity becomes tied to being feared or controversial. Was he a villain, a warrior, or just a human being trying to survive in a brutal game? Whatever your view, his legacy is complicated and unforgettable. If you want more real NHL stories with insight and honesty, like this video and subscribe to Pucknuts.